Rain hammered against the rooftops of Lula Island as villagers crowded into the island doctor's waiting room. The wet season always brought sickness, aching bones, and old injuries back to life. And the doctor spent the day rushing from patient to patient with his herbal medicines. But in all the chaos, he made one terrible mistake. He forgot to drug Queen Parucha. Deep inside a hidden room beneath the doctor's home, the queen slowly opened her eyes. Her head throbbed with pain and every part of her body ached. At first, everything was blurred and confusing, but then panic struck her heart. She was tied to a wooden board. Fear surged through her, pulling against the ropes with trembling hands. She realized they had not been tied tightly enough. One by one, she freed herself. The room smelled damp and rotten. Her torn dress hung from her shoulders and bruises covered her skin. She could barely remember everything the doctor had done to her, but flashes of horror burned through her mind. Her survival instinct took over. On the ground nearby lay a loose plank of wood. She stamped on it until a sharp piece splintered away. Clutching the pointed wood like a dagger, she used the larger piece to dig into the sandy floor beneath the wall. The digging exhausted her weakened body, but she refused to stop. Finally, the hole became large enough to squeeze through. Tearing her dress even more, she crawled out into the cold rain and ran blindly into the forest. The rain washed dirt and blood from her body as painful memories flooded her mind. Exhausted and still dizzy from the drugs, she collapsed beneath a small tree and hid herself under the wet leaves. At some point, she fell asleep. She awoke screaming. The memories came rushing back all at once. Breathing heavily, she gripped the sharpened wood tighter and listened carefully. No voices, no footsteps, only rain. Shaking from cold and withdrawal, the queen forced herself to think clearly. She needed water. She followed the sound of a nearby stream and knelt beside the flowing water. As she drank, she caught sight of her reflection. Her face was swollen and bruised from the beatings she had suffered. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Lord," she whispered weakly, "please help me find shelter." Then she heard a small voice behind her. "Lady, do you need help?" The queen turned to see a little girl standing nearby. "Yes," she whispered desperately, "please." The child gently took her hand. "Come with me. My mother will help you." Using the last of her strength, Queen Parucha followed the girl through the rain until they reached a tiny cottage hidden among the trees. The last thing she remembered was a warm blanket being wrapped around her shoulders and a kind woman saying softly, "You're safe now." For days, the woman and her daughter cared for the queen in secret. They shared their small supply of food and gave her water while she recovered. When the queen finally regained enough strength to speak, terror filled her eyes. "You haven't told the doctor where I am, have you?" "No," the little girl answered quickly. The rain stopped no boats from reaching the main island. Relief washed over the queen. "Good," she said quietly. "It was the doctor who did this to me." The woman nodded sadly. She was not surprised. The island doctor was feared by many people and used his power to control others. As the days passed, Queen Parucha slowly grew stronger. After washing and changing into clean clothes, she finally explained who she truly was. The woman listened carefully. Then her face darkened. "Your Majesty," she said softly, "there is something you should know." The queen's heart tightened. The shalapoon has sunk. The room fell silent. "The king?" the queen asked weakly. The woman lowered her eyes. "People say there were no survivors." The words shattered what little strength Queen Parucha had left. She fell to the floor in tears, unable to imagine a world without her family, while outside the rain continued to fall across Lula Island.